All right, let's do this. It is Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Um, I'm highlighting AMD to start with because AMD had excellent earnings in after hours, but the stock is down roughly 12 bucks, around 230. Most notable is the fact that daily momentum has been weakening for a few days, and momentum settled officially at 0.159 and will clearly turn negative at the Wednesday open. So that's kind of been, it's been weakening for a couple of, well, almost for 2 weeks. But yeah, AMD is going to be down tomorrow on excellent earnings. Um, we're only down at 230, which is still above for 50-day at 221. And of course, we have another gap here around 210. But yeah, there'll be a lot of potential tomorrow for AMD to floor around for the 50-day. So the most bearish case would be 221 tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon sometime, and then claw back upwards. But again, the only problem will be even if we do recover tomorrow, momentum's probably going to turn negative or tick down for a couple of days. And on a daily chart, you could argue structure was a baby bear flag. Anyway, don't want to dawdle, but earnings were excellent. Stock is down anyway, mostly cyclical. I do want to highlight the S&P before I forget. So yeah, we had some morning upside, but a rather ugly, it got ugly in the afternoon, and we tested the 50-day and then rebounded. Today's candle is not quite bearish engulfing, but it's pretty close. I will note that daily momentum turned negative and will clearly tick down a bit more on Wednesday. So I do think we have another chance of coming down, maybe back to 50-day again. I would be concerned if we had a close Wednesday under the lower Bollinger, then maybe, if we close under, okay, the lower Bollinger is 68.52. If we close under 68.50 tomorrow, then you got to think, okay, I guess we're going to tag red gap, which we never really did. We didn't do it here. We tagged little yellow gap. We haven't tagged this gap that goes back to mid-December. But yeah, today's candle is not bullish, so Wednesday should be red to some degree. Is there anything to highlight for the? I will, of course, I should highlight the fact that the transports new historic high, not bearish. Something to keep in mind. VIX on a daily. Today's candle is a bit naturally spiky from the 50 days, as it often is the case, right? Momentum remains marginally positive. Certainly, the price action is getting a bit wild, right? We had a little burst here, cooling wave. We're trying to break up. Anyway, let's go through some individual stock charts. We'll end with gold and silver. But yeah, Apple held up well to the main market, stuck around the 50-day. Flutter Aviation actually had a reasonable day, up 2%. Black Candle, bearish for Agnico. American Eagle, a little bit of cooling with the main market. First Majestic, up 8%, but that is a black candle, leans bearish for early Wednesday. AMD we've covered. Amazon down 1.8%. Today's candle it's not quite bearish engulfing, but leans red for early Wednesday. Barrick Mining up 2.4%. Black candle, earnings are due Thursday after hours. Will be good. I would keep an eye on whether the 50-day holds it. If the 50-day is taken out, then maybe we're looking at 36, 35, which is a long way down. That's a problem. Just a moment. All right, back. Yeah, black candle. bearish for early Wednesday. Boeing, black candle, bearish. Baba, don't care. Bank of America up. Some of the financials were actually up today, which was impressive. Bitcoin down another 2%. 22 is horrible. Caterpillar, new historic high, incredible. Kamiko had a good day with the other mining stocks. Carnival, I mean, did have a little rally early on, but it faded. Cleveland Cliffs, 2.9%. Coinbase, horrible, right? Big orange gap filled a few days ago, 179. Of course, Bitcoin. As I type, I'll just jump to Bitcoin. Where the hell is it? There it is. So look, Bitcoin took out the April low of 74,000 quite decisively, 72. Next support is around 61,000, which you can see on a monthly chart. I mean, really, look, but it's like, look, Bitcoin's been coming down for months anyway, so this downside isn't entirely surprising. And you're now in the case of, okay, does 61 hold? I mean, it's not great, right? Anyway, enough of that. I don't really care for crypto. It's interesting. It's kind of a sideline curiosity. Decker's down 2.5%. We have a red gap. A lot of support here, 104, 105-ish. I mean, I like it. Still midterm bullish, 125. Grander target is 150. Disney, mostly just dragged down with the main market. You can see there's some buyers there. Yesterday's reversal candle did play out, if briefly. Just skipping through a few of these. Freeport Mac ran up 6.5% with the other miners. It's holding up well. Google has earnings on Wednesday. New stock high today, 349, settled 339, just dragged back down by the main market. Home Depot, you see the retail stocks trying to spike in the morning here. Also, yesterday's candle was bullish engulfing, so that played out. Earnings is probably due next week, right? I haven't checked, but probably next week. Soft target is 400. Got to be bullish Home Depot. Heckler up 8.8%. That is a black candle. Short-term bearish. Intel, black candle, bearish. JOBY, black candle, bearish. I like JOBY, $1 billion capital raise, 1073. I like that. I like that stock a lot at that price. JP Morgan had a good day, 2.2%. That's impressive. This is not so impressive though. KKR got the smackdown, down almost 10%. Legacy orange gap from April filled. That leaves red gap next. I will note that OWL, which is Blue Owl Capital, imploded similarly low, 9.8% to 12.11. Next support is around $8. This is on my self-destruct list. Sister stock, Blackstone, another private equity company, got whacked 5%. I mean, you see here, look, it took out the November low. The next stop is the April low of 112. This is bad. But yeah, KKR, horrible, horrible day for the private equity firms. Kinder Morgan, that could be a new historic high. Impressive. Cree, the regional banks are still doing okay. Lockheed did print a new historic high, but it cooled back. Meta just cooling with the main market. Yep, that's all it's doing. MP Materials up 9% with the rest of the miners. Impressive. Microsoft just dragged down by the main market. So all of this legacy orange gap, which KKR also had, is being filled. And now we have an upside gap to fill. Micron down 4%, main market pressure. Netflix, another lousy day, down 3.5%, 79s. Next big support, of course, is $80. Nike down 2%, $60. We have a legacy tiny gap here, 58s, 57s. That could be tagged tomorrow. I'm asking myself, do I want to buy Nike tomorrow morning? And I could, especially if Nike's in red gap tomorrow. I would be very tempted. Something to think about. NVDA down almost 3%, main market pressure. ONDS, that's impressive, up almost 7%. Uh, today's candle looks like it's a hammer, bullish. Occidental, bullish engulfing candle, up 3.3%, bullish. Pan American Silver, black candle, short-term bearish for early Wednesday. Palantir, I was suspectful that Tuesday would see a jump higher on earnings, but have a black candle, which we did see with the sellers came in. So it settled up 6.8%, but this stock remains broken, and I am midterm bearish to 100. Just a moment. So yeah, bearish Palantir. PayPal. PayPal earnings were mixed. Market is not happy about a new CEO. 20.3%. What a drop. It would have made for a hell of a short side position, right? But you can see it was already bearish to begin with, so it's not that surprising that it's down. Look at it. This stock has been cut in half since late October. Terrible. Rocket Lab had a strong day, up 9%. SMR, another strong one, up 8.5%. Today's candle is bullish engulfing from key price threshold. Basic target is $30. That is currently about 60% upside. Target, strong day. Again, retailing stocks did good today, at 1.5%. Tesla, basically flat. I will say today's candle is black. Leans short-term bearish, if only part of tomorrow. Take-Two had earnings in after hours, so the stock closed down 4%. Yesterday's black candle played out. The stock was up. Stock was up $8 in after hours to around 220, so it's around here. The company did reiterate in after hours that Grand Theft Auto 6 will be released November 19th. That's still a long way out. Strong day for the transports. United Health down 0.5% again. This isn't good, right? This is just it's not great. I think the August lows could be taken out. Strong day for the transports again. UPS up 1.4%. New cycle high. It's had a good run. Midterm bullish. FedEx was up a lot. Yeah, look, FedEx 5.4%. FedEx a new historic high, right? FedEx. A couple of miscellaneous stocks I don't generally chart, but I should mention. Salesforce down 6.8%. Horrible, right? Bad. Bearish to 135. IBM got whacked as well though. Down 6.5%. Look at that. That's not good. Maybe we'll come down to the 200 day tomorrow. We could, I mean, 280. Yeah, 280 looks possible. What else? It was Exxon, right? Yep. Yeah, Exxon. Look at that. New historic high at 3.8%. Very impressive. And that just leaves us with, actually we'll go with on the minus first. GDX black candle bearish for Wednesday. I'm inclined not to highlight the stock charts, daily charts, because they're just for gold and silver because they generally the prices will twitch until after midnight my time. But a strong bounce for gold. Momentum still. So look, despite the fact that gold was up 6% or so today, daily momentum is still ticking down, right? So short-term problematic. And look at this. So we had this little wave down here in late December, which was a one day wonder, really. But in this case, in October, we did tick down for a couple of weeks. You got to wonder. That takes us to silver, which I'll talk about. Yeah, so silver settled up. Well, SLV settled up 6%. Maybe we'll do an hourly chart. Yeah. Actually, maybe we'll even do a 15-minute chart first. Yeah, so this will give some perspective. This is SLV on a 15-minute. So yesterday afternoon saw a baby bull flag. That played out at the open. I dropped out of my two positions, sold there. It got very price action was very subdued. So there was plenty of time to get out right here. Then the main equity market broke lower, which dragged silver down to the 70 SLV down to 74s. We had a little rally into the close 77s because the S&P was up. But you could argue this is a little baby bear flag, and maybe we'll come down to 73, 72s on early Wednesday, which is my guess. I am somewhat biased because I want to buy back, right? Having sold around 79, if the idea of being able to buy back at 72 is attractive. Let's get some perspective on an hourly chart. So you see, daily hourly momentum remains positive. I wouldn't be surprised if we come down a little bit early Wednesday, though. And also, yeah, you can see structure there. You can argue that's a micro bear flag, and it will come down and fill this red gap to 72s, maybe even 71s tomorrow. I would love to buy back tomorrow morning. Anywhere in the 73s or lower. Of course, 73 is $3 down. That's about 4%. So I think there's a reasonable chance silver will be down 3, 4, 5% tomorrow morning, where I would be a buyer, and my target would still be this 83 threshold. So if I can get back in around 73 or lower, I think I've got $10 of realistic upside before the weekend. And that doesn't even tag green gap, which again, green gap is a huge issue. I would accept that we could tag green gap before the weekend. It's unlikely. It's far more realistic next week. But yeah. So my guess is early weakness on Wednesday morning, but then swinging back upwards into Thursday, Friday. A natural target is this 83 threshold here. You see all the little gaps. I've only got one gap marked on there. There's one there. There's another one there. There's another one there. Like 4 gaps. So it's kind of like a price magnet zone. I'm almost surprised we didn't get to 83 today. And yeah, on a daily chart, I did want to highlight this. It's something I just put together today. It's just it's just a simple notion. Maybe just a slightly different version of the October November consolidation or bullish pennant, whatever you want to call it. And then maybe we get stuck within this into March, and then we break up and away again. Just burn off. We've already burnt off a lot of overbought condition here. I would note the 50-day, which is 67s. Of course, that's going up a little bit each day. In October, November, we kept bouncing off the 50-day. You see this? Look at this, over and over and over and over again. And eventually we broke above the top line of the pennant. Although that was like 6 weeks. So yeah, 6 weeks after the initial high. So if you got 6 weeks from now, that gets you to about here. So like March 9th, maybe we break up and away again. But I am thinking that's a pretty good scenario. We kind of churn around in here. That would be good. My only real concern is that somehow we get down to the two. We get down to like this. This will be around $50. It doesn't seem likely, but one day at a time, right? Anything else to highlight? Not really. Yeah, not really. We'll end on that. I wish you a good Tuesday evening and a good Wednesday. Be good.